Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is a short webcast, a tutorial on something new called didlang, the beginnings of a language for manipulating DIDs, DID identifiers, DID documents, DID agents, and DID objects. So let's just start it up and have a look at it. You can see here it's a command line interpreter, and it supports the didlang language. There's a help system, and so it understands at the current time just 4 top-level commands. You can type in a did and verify whether that's a valid did identifier, whether that did identifier exists in the ecosystem. Um, or you can do an indirection through that did, and of course you'd expect it to return a did document. We call that single indirection. Or you can do ** did, double indirection through the did, which will get the did document, look in the did document for the service endpoint for the agent for this did identifier, and return a structured credential for information about that agent, such as the actions it supports and the calling parameters and return values. And then you can do triple indirection, which will execute a default method on the agent and return an object, again, as a structured credential, aka verifiable credential. And that's basically the things, or the options that you have. You see up here loading, it only understands one method, did::color. And so there's a simulator built into this version of the interpreter that understands 142 different colors. So we can get the did documents for 142 different colors. We can get their agent. And then we can get those individual objects. So let's just start with a little example that most people would be familiar with. Did::example 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is parsed. Here's the parse tree representing that did identifier. And it verified as false because this version of the interpreter doesn't understand or know about the example did method. However, if we did something like this, did::color::red, that verifies true because there actually is, in a simulated way, a did object, a did agent, and a did document that is named did::color::red. So now the most obvious thing you'd like to see is let's do indirection through did::color::red and see what we get. And voila, here in green, we first find that it's verified true, which we would expect, and then we can see an example of a did document. It might not be using the most current schema for did documents, but this is an illustration. We can see that the ID is did::color::red. And down here we see there's a service endpoint called d::color::red #agent. It's of type BlueToqueTools agent. BlueToqueTools is just the name of this particular demo project. And that the service endpoint exists at localhost BlueToque did::color agent. That's just a little bit of a made up service endpoint, but it allows me to find the agent for this object did::color::red, because then I'm able to ask that service endpoint, what kind of actions do you support? And once I understand the actions that it supports, then I can ask, for example, for it to give me the object itself. The description of the agent is a structured credential, aka VC, and the object, of course, is returned as a structured credential. So let's go that one extra step. Let's do double indirection through did::color::red. And maybe we'll just maximize this a bit. we can see that it went through and got the same DID document as before. First of all, it verified true, went through the same DID document as before. And then we got the agent structured credential here in blue. It's just, again, a structured credential. It has an identifier did::color, so it's part of the color method space. The Blue Toque agent subspace or submethod namespace. We're asking for interfaces. We're asking for structured credentials. And so if we go down here, we can see in the credential subject, the ID in this particular case happens to match that because it makes sense. And then we have a collection of claims associated with that ID. And in this simplified version from the simulator, we get a collection of actions. So we could get the agent interfaces. So this agent interfaces would be factory interfaces, for example, how to create new color objects and record them on the verifiable data registry. Or you can just say we want to get the object interfaces, and it accepts a DID identifier. And what it returns is a list of the interfaces in structured credential format. And then one of those interfaces would be, one of the methods in that interface would be get object, an action that we would call by doing triple indirection. So let's do triple indirection through did::color::red. And we get, I won't show you, it's the same as above. We got the DID document, we got the agent, and then we did executed an action to get the object itself. That is the did::color::red object. It's a verifiable credential, type color. There's a bunch of it, but here the credential subject now is did::color::red, and in the claims we can see that it has a formal name of red, and it has an alpha red, green, and blue values of the numbers shown there. The other stuff is, again, this is a simulator, so the other attributes here are a little bit, or properties are a little bit made up, and the proof is a little bit made up as well. But the idea is that this is what an object structured credential would look like that would be returned through triple indirection. So just to close off, there is a help system here. There's also some shortcuts because you find that it gets quite repetitious. So if you put exclamation H or exclamation help, you'll find that there's some shortcuts. So if you want to use in your testing did::example 1, 2, 3, 4 a lot, that's just exclamation 0. Exclamation R is a shortcut for red. Exclamation 1, 2, 3 are shortcuts for doing indirection, double indirection and triple indirection against the red DID. Or you can, go against the green DID or the blue DID. You can also see a list of all the did::color DID objects that are registered in this system. So let's just fool around with some. So if I do hashtag with red we've done, let's do blue. That's going to do indirection through the DID document to get the service endpoint for the agent. We're going to do indirection through the agent to get the interfaces. And then we're going to do indirection through one of those interfaces to actually get the blue object. And there you see it. So blue is, again, all these colors have an alpha of 255, and there's blue. If we go back quickly and look at those, colors is kind of an interesting one. That's just, again, the simulated verifiable data registry has all of these colors recorded in it, their formal names, and their red, green, and blue. I left the alpha out because it's always 255. And so there you have it. I don't think there's anything else really to pontificate on there. No, that's good. And so this will be going up on GitHub shortly under the BlueToqueTools project. It'll be a new project. Anyway, I encourage you to have fun. Bye for now.